Gov, obviously it's been a busy week in terms of the noise. How have you guys handled it, do you think?
I think the boys have handled it as well as we can. All the criticism, noise and everything around it is probably deserved. We haven't performed as well as we'd like the last 2 weeks. So, but I think on track, I think the way the boys have trained, we've reviewed pretty hard, had a look at a few things. I think the way we've reviewed and the way we've taken it, I think is positive, but we'll find out on the weekend when we play.
A lot of talk about game plans being needed to be tweaked and that. Has that work been put in this week? Have you tried a couple of different things, maybe defensively? How's it looking?
Yeah, we've had a look at a few things. It's pretty hard to fully reinvent your game plan, at this part of the year. So we've had to tweak a few things, look at a few things, but it's not reinvent the whole wheel. We just have to tighten up on a few things. The main issue for us is your work rate and effort, really. If you don't get that on game day, you're going to get results like we have the last couple of weeks. Can
you build that into the game plan, like in terms of energy and like maybe making it frantic, or is that part of it, like just lifting that energy level?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's easy to say. Like, the boys, we don't go out there and try and not work hard and try play with no effort. But sometimes you get that. We need to find a way to make sure we're nullifying that as much as possible. And like you said, get that effort going, and then tweak the game plan a little bit. But the last 2 weeks haven't been great for us.
You're a leader of the club, Gov. How concerning is it for you to see the fluctuations in, I guess, energy and effort, back to back after the Bulldogs here, and then you go to a place where you haven't really been too competitive, but there wasn't much of a response? Yeah,
there wasn't. That's probably that was not alarming at all, but it's something that we don't pride ourselves on as a footy club, as a playing group, really. You want to respond after bad games, and we didn't. We've had 2 in a row. We've got an opportunity this week to do that. I'm sure we will. It's definitely not crisis talks or alarm bells going off completely, but we had to have a few chats to a few boys, and we like to look at each other individually. I'm obviously a leader of the footy club as well, so I'll put my hand up, and I've had efforts and parts in games that I've contributed. So I don't think it's individuals per se, but I think individually as a collective we can all improve in that area.
The nature of the conversations, were they confronting, or were they more, this is where we need to improve, now we wrap our arms around each other? Was it, did you challenge each other pretty tough in that sense?
Oh yeah, to an extent. We don't really need to get the sledgehammer out and whack blokes, but we sit down and we educate. We talk about it. We own up to it. That was probably the first thing. All the boys put their hands up who haven't performed, and everyone did. There wasn't one bloke in there really who's put their hand up and said, I've been 100% for the last all year, really. So we all had our issues and times and moments. We always put a hand up as a collective, and we'll own it.
Does it chip away at the confidence a bit when you have back-to-back performances like that?
Oh, a little bit, yeah, but on the flip side, it gives you opportunity as well to build off the back of it. When your backs are against the wall a little bit, you do really see the characteristics of your group, and I'd like to think we respond this week.
What is your belief or expectation in what this group can achieve this year?
Oh, the belief's still extremely high, yeah. I think we're still 7th on the ladder, top 8. We've played some great footy, but we've played some terrible footy as well, so we need to bridge that gap as much as we can. The belief's still there for sure. I think the playing group, I think everyone thinks our playing group is, we're probably not living up to our expectations at the moment, but the belief's definitely still there for sure.
Has the group potentially lost a bit of an edge in terms of teams, I guess, when they come up against West Coast now, think they could be brittle, they could be vulnerable, as opposed to maybe 18 months ago thinking, this is going to be a tough slog? Has that lost a bit of that edge maybe?
Oh, maybe, yeah. You'd have to ask the other teams what they think when they come up against us. I'm sure if you ask them, they'll give you the answer. But for us, it's not more about what teams are doing to us. It's the way we're performing with our work rate, effort, and playing to our system. So, teams are going to come and we'll prepare for them as well as possible, like we will this week for North Melbourne. But it's more on our end. If you don't rock up on game day, you're going to get hurt.
You mentioned the tweaks to the game plan. What have you found, I guess, the last couple of weeks since you've been back that hasn't quite been working as well?
Well, it's not that it hasn't worked at all. It's just probably we haven't implemented as well as players, and the education piece for us a little bit. But like I said, there's small tweaks. It's nothing major. It's not something that we don't know. I think a lot of us senior blokes should put our hands up, and we understand the game pretty well, and we haven't implemented it. So it's more around that sort of stuff.
Some of the fans have sort of grown a little bit frustrated over the last 2 weeks about ball movement, slow. What can they look forward to on Monday night, and some changes and tweaks to what will actually be presented there?
Yeah, and rightly so. Like, we've let our fans down massively, and that hurts all of the boys. We let a lot of people down the last couple of weeks, but moving forward, yeah, we'll try to speed that ball moving up for sure. We don't want to be too reckless with it, but that's just finding that balance. So we've chatted about that a little bit. We just want to play our brand of footy, which needs to be a bit quicker, probably from our back half, but a bit more defensive side of things for us is pretty important going forward in contest stuff.
How are you going physically yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously a couple of weeks back after the injury, and I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm not too bad. So I'm building into it.
How frustrating has the season been, coming in and out a lot?
Oh yeah, it's obviously frustrating, and that's just a part of AFL footy though. That everyone deals with it. With injury, it's probably one of the hardest things to deal with as a footballer is injury and keeping your body right. And for me, I've had a bit unluck, but it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. I think ideally you'd love a clean run, but that's like I just said. It's just footy.
How much of the amount of players coming in the other side has affected continuity within the team? Is that played a role in consistency?
It might have, but I don't think that's the answers to our performances. No, it might have tweaked a few little things, but I think just the way it's winning and losing. Obviously, you want to win, and you don't want to lose. But there's ways of losing. The way we've lost hasn't been our way, and you can lose games to good sides. And both sides that we have been pumped by are really good sides, but we expect better than what we delivered. So I wouldn't say the changes and continuities are the reason why we've lost. No.
The game plan changes, have they driven from the playing group, or has that come from the coaching group?
A bit of both. We had good conversations between coaches and players, and the coaches are obviously driving it a little bit more. The players need to buy in, so there's a bit of both actually. It's been good conversations to speak around it.
North Melbourne have been pretty up and down this year, but been competitive in recent weeks. What do you make of them so far?
Yeah, definitely. The last 4 weeks have been extremely competitive. So we'll have our hands full on the weekend for sure. We'll be expecting them obviously at their best, which we'll have to be on our toes for. And they've been great, mate. We've looked into them a fair bit this week, and their last 4 weeks have been right up there and really challenged some good sides.
What do you make of their forward line? They tend to rely on a lot of the medium-sized defenders. Does that pose a bit of a challenge for you?
Yeah, every forward line is a challenge for us each week. They've got a bit of a different dynamic. We'll make do with that, and we'll do what we can to try and nullify them and keep them to a low score. Hopefully, is what I'm thinking.